Get comfortable with English and comfort. This is your English listening practice podcast to help you learn and improve naturally.
So, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you have a really, really good friend.
Okay.
And this friend is holding a glass of water, but suddenly the glass slips from their hand.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it falls to the floor and it just shatters into 100 pieces. Water goes everywhere. Now, what do you say to your friend? Do you yell at them? Do you say, "You are so stupid. You cannot do anything right"?
No, of course not. You would never do that to a friend.
Exactly. You would probably check if they're okay, right?
Right. You would say, "Don't worry about it. It's just a glass. Let me help you clean that up."
Yes, we give our friends so much kindness. We give them patience. But when we drop the glass, when we make a mistake in our own lives,
It's a totally different story.
it really is. We are often our own worst enemies. We say terrible things to ourselves inside our heads.
We do.
And that is why today we are talking about self-love, how to be kind to yourself.
It's such an important topic because life gets so busy and difficult that we often forget to look after our own minds.
Right? And to anyone listening, this is English in Comfort, and I'm Tim.
And I'm Leah. This is your cozy English podcast for learning English through real and easy conversations and interesting topics.
And today's topic is how to love yourself more. The core idea, in very simple words, is that self-love means treating yourself with the exact same care and respect that you give to a good friend.
Yeah, it sounds simple, but it brings so much peace and happiness when you actually learn how to do it.
So, we have prepared 7 really simple daily habits, and our mission today is, well, to just walk through them together slowly.
I love that. Let us take our time with it.
Okay, so let us start right there with the voice inside our heads. We are often our own worst critics.
Yes, that is point number 1.
Right. And a specific example is when we make a mistake, we often think, "I am stupid" or "I cannot do anything right."
Which is so harsh. But from a psychological view, our brains actually do this to try and protect us.
Wait, really? How is calling myself stupid protecting me?
Well, the brain thinks if I punish myself right now, I will feel bad and then I will not do this dangerous or embarrassing thing ever again.
Oh, I see. It is like a warning system.
Exactly, but the problem is it does not work. It just drains our energy and makes us feel sad.
But here's my question. It is very hard to just stop a bad thought. Like, if I make a mistake at work, I cannot just stop the thought, "I am stupid," from popping up.
Because it happens in half a second.
Yeah, it's automatic. So, how do we actually change this habit?
Well, a great solution is that you do not try to stop the bad thought. You just replace it with gentle words right after.
Oh, okay.
So when your brain says, "I am stupid," you catch it. You take a breath. And then you say, "I made a mistake, but I am learning."
I made a mistake, but I am learning. I like that.
It changes everything because saying "I am stupid" feels like a closed door. But saying "I am learning" leaves the door open. It means you can grow.
That makes a lot of sense.
Think of your brain like a forest. If you walk in the exact same path every single day, that path becomes very wide and very easy to walk on, right? So if you always think, "I am stupid," that negative path gets really strong. When something goes wrong, your brain just runs down that easy path.
Because it is the fastest way to go.
Yes. So you have to build a new path, the "I am learning" path. At first, there are bushes and branches in the way. It is hard to walk there.
But if you keep using it, it gets clearer.
Exactly. If you consciously choose the kind path at right time, it gets wider. And the old negative path just grows over with grass.
Wow, that is a beautiful way to picture it. But that helps with today's mistakes.
Right?
What about the past? Because point number 4 is about forgiving past mistakes, and this feels a lot heavier. Like people carry around bad choices from 10 years ago.
They really do.
We remember it and we get so angry at ourselves all over again. Why do we do that?
Well, it is an illusion of control. We kind of think that if we stay angry at our past selves, it proves we are a better person now.
Oh, I see. Like if I am mad about it, it means I am good now.
Right? But holding on to anger about the past just blocks your peace today. It does not change what happened.
So how do we fix that? Because just telling someone to, let it go never really works.
Oh, it does not. But there is a simple process. First, learn the lesson. You look at the old mistake and ask, what did this teach me?
Okay, learn the lesson.
Once you learn the lesson, the mistake has done its job. Then the second step is to consciously forgive yourself.
Just say, I forgive you.
Yes, accept that you were just doing your best with what you knew back then. Once you learn the lesson and forgive, letting it go happens naturally. You can just move forward.
That is so freeing. You learn the lesson so you do not need the pain anymore.
Exactly.
Okay, so that is the voice inside our minds. But we are also touching on something else really interesting. 2 of our habits are about protecting our physical home.
Yes, our bodies and our energy.
There is this really nice idea. It says, your body is your home.
It is a great metaphor because the mind lives inside the physical body.
Right? And if you live in a house that is freezing cold and really dirty, you're going to feel sad sitting inside it.
Exactly. But if you open the windows, let the sun in, and clean up a little, your mood gets better instantly.
And we do not have to be perfect. Keeping a home nice does not mean building a giant castle.
No, not at all.
It just means doing the basics like drinking enough water, eating good food, getting enough sleep.
Yes. Very simple things. We also talk about simple movement, like going for a quiet walk, or just waking up and stretching your arms high in the air.
I wanted to ask about that. Why does just stretching my arms change how I feel in my mind?
Well, it is biology. When we criticize ourselves or feel stressed, our bodies physically get tight. We hold stress in our shoulders and our backs.
Oh yeah, my shoulders get super tight.
Right. So when you deliberately stretch, you release that tension. This sends a biological signal to your brain that you are safe.
Really? Just from stretching?
Yes, it lowers stress hormones by just stretching. You prove to your brain that there is no danger. When the body feels cared for, the mind feels better too.
Okay, so water, sleep, stretching. That makes the home comfortable, but we also have to guard the home.
Yes, guarding our energy. This is another one of our habits.
And it says we have to learn to say no, which is really hard.
It is incredibly difficult. We want to be helpful.
Yeah, like if someone asks for help, we want to say yes. If a friend asks me to help them move furniture on my day off, I feel so guilty if I say no, even if you are totally exhausted.
Exactly, but saying no is actually a strong way to show self-love.
Why is that?
Well, think of your energy, like electricity in that house we talked about. You only have a limited amount of power every day if you give all your electricity to everyone else.
Like helping them move, doing extra work.
Right. Constantly solving other people's problems.
Yeah,
If you do all that, your own house goes completely dark. You have no light or warmth left for yourself.
so if I am tired or busy, saying no just protects my free time and my energy.
Yes. It guards the home. You cannot be a good friend to others if your own house is completely dark.
That makes so much sense. Okay, so we are protecting our energy, but now we have to deal with the outside world, which is very loud.
Very loud. And we also talk about finding peace in a noisy world. This includes stopping comparison.
Yes, and the internet makes this so hard.
It really does.
You open your phone and suddenly you see someone on a perfect vacation or someone with a huge new house,
And everyone looks perfectly happy and fit.
right? And within 5 minutes, your own life feels boring and small. Well, it is important to remember that people only show their best, happiest moments online. It is an illusion because we are comparing our real everyday life to their highlight reel,
Exactly. It is like comparing the messy behind the scenes of a movie to the final edited film.
right?
People do not post pictures when they are crying or tired.
They only show the sunshine.
Yes, so the advice is to stop looking at them. Think of life like walking up a mountain. Your journey is your own.
Okay. Walking up a mountain.
If you keep turning your head to see how fast someone else is climbing their mountain, you are going to trip over a rock.
Right? You will fall down.
Yes, you have to look at your own feet, focus on your own path and your own growth.
And to help us focus on our own path, another habit is spending time alone every day.
Enjoying quiet time alone?
I like to think of it like this. If social media is a crowded, loud room, this quiet time is like stepping outside to breathe the fresh air.
That is a perfect way to put it.
But what do we actually do in this quiet time?
Well, simple joys can help. You can read a nice book, you could sit outside and look at nature, or just drink a warm cup of tea in total silence.
Just silence. No phones.
No phones. A lot of people are scared of the silence because their thoughts get loud. But being comfortable alone helps you understand who you really are.
Because you finally hear your own voice.
Exactly, you learn what you actually like and need.
That is really beautiful. Okay, so we have built these great habits, but we are at the final point, moving forward step by step,
Yes, how to keep going.
because sometimes it feels really hard, and we need to celebrate small wins.
This is so important. You do not need to do something huge to be proud of yourself.
The examples are really tiny, like finishing a task at work or cleaning your room, or on a hard day just getting out of bed.
Right?
Why do these tiny things matter so much?
Because cheering for yourself over very small steps builds true confidence. Think of your self-love like a brick wall.
A brick wall.
You do not build a wall by dropping one giant stone. You build it one small brick at a time.
Brick by brick.
Yes. Every time you set a small goal, like drinking a glass of water, and you do it, you place one brick. You prove to yourself that you are reliable.
So every small win builds trust, and trusting yourself is a huge part of loving yourself.
Exactly.
And that leads right into our conclusion. Self-love is not a destination. It does not just happen overnight.
No, it is a daily practice. It is like taking care of a garden. You do not water a plant once and expect it to live forever.
You have to water it a little bit every day.
Yes. So do not try to change everything at once. Start with just one or two of these 7 steps today.
Right. Make them a habit. And slowly you will feel lighter, happier, and more comfortable.
That is the ultimate goal.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive. Let us just quickly review the core lesson for our listener.
Sounds good.
So we learned to speak kindly to ourselves to say, I am learning. We learned to care for our physical body, our home.
We learn to protect our peace by saying no and by stopping comparison.
And we learned to celebrate the small steps, just laying one brick at a time.
Yeah, it is a wonderful toolkit.
It really is. So to our listener, I want to leave you with one final thought to explore on your own.
Oh, I love these.
You deserve your own kindness. You really do. So what if tomorrow morning, the very first words you speak to yourself actually set the weather for your entire day?
Wow, setting the weather.
Yeah. If you wake up and criticize yourself, you are building dark storm clouds, but you have the power to choose the weather. Which of these small, simple habits will you choose to wake up to tomorrow?
Just one small habit.
Exactly. What will you do to make sure your day begins with sunshine? Tell us in the comments down below.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Taking the time to listen was a great first step in self-love. Oh, wait, we still need to go through new words and phrases from today's talk. These are really great to build your vocabulary and to use in your daily life conversations.
That's right.
Okay, word number 1, critics. Like in the sentence, we are our own worst critics. A critic is someone who judges or points out mistakes. So here, it means we judge ourselves too much.
Yeah, sometimes way too much. Next, we have the word harsh. If something is harsh, it is very strong, strict, or even a little hurtful. So when we say that's harsh, it means it's not kind.
Right, especially when we talk to ourselves. Then we have popping up, like a thought popping up. This means something appears suddenly, very quickly.
Like a thought just comes into your mind without warning. And then we have the word automatic. If something is automatic, it happens without thinking.
Like those negative thoughts, they just happen automatically. We also have the phrase closed door, like it feels like a closed door. A closed door means something is finished or there is no possibility.
Yeah, like no chance to grow or improve. Then we got the word path. A path is a way or direction you follow.
In life, your path means your journey or your way of growing. There is this phrase too, bushes and branches in the way. This means something is blocking you or making things difficult.
Yeah, like when something is new and not easy at first. Next, we have the word consciously. This means doing something with awareness, on purpose.
So when you choose kind thoughts consciously, you are doing it intentionally. And there is the word metaphor. A metaphor is when we describe something by comparing it to something else.
Like saying your body is your home. It's not real, but it helps us understand. And finally, the word deliberately. This means doing something very carefully and on purpose.
Like when you deliberately stretch your body to relax.
And that's it. These are such useful words we use today.
Thank you for listening today. Be sure to subscribe to English in Comfort for more cozy talks and really helpful topics.
And remember, learning English doesn't have to be stressful. Take it slow, enjoy the process, and be kind to yourself along the way. Keep practicing, keep improving, and take care, everyone.